Hello everyone, this is Mr. Underkoffler. Today we're looking at the guided notes called When the Problem Doesn't Tell You What Inequality Symbol to Use. Alright, follow along with me here as I read this out loud. Sometimes you may be asked to write and solve an inequality for a word problem that does not contain any words that translate to an inequality symbol. When that happens, you have to think and decide which inequality symbol would make sense for the problem. All right, let's go ahead and look at an example together. I will continue reading this out loud. Feel free to continue following along. You've decided to raise money for a charity. Your goal is to raise $700, and you decided to donate $100 of your own money. The rest of the money will be raised by doing car washes this weekend at a rate of $8 per car washed. How many cars will need to be washed to reach your money goal? Okay, there were no words in this word problem that meant less than or greater than or less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. There were no words. We didn't see like phrases like at least or at most or maximum or minimum or anything like that. So we're going to have to think what inequality symbol makes sense. How do we do that? Well, think about what this problem was talking about. Follow along as I read this out loud. When raising money for a charity, you're happy with the goal being exactly met, which means equal to, but you're also happy with getting a higher amount of money than the goal. That's what makes sense when you're raising money for a charity. So we're happy with it being equal to, but we're also happy with getting a higher amount. So pencils in your hand, that would be greater than or equal to the goal of $700. So continue filling in these boxes. Greater than or equal to is the inequality symbol that makes sense for this problem. Now, you need to realize every problem is unique. Yes, on this situation for raising money for a charity, getting greater than or equal to the goal made sense. But not every problem's going to make sense for greater than or equal to. You have to read and understand what the problem's talking about to realize which inequality symbol makes sense. Okay, with that being in mind, I need you to read number 5, and I need you to figure out what inequality symbol makes sense and what total amount of money should be to the right of that inequality symbol. So hit pause, read number 5, write down the inequality symbol that you think makes sense and the number that should go to the right of it, and then hit play to make sure you got that part right. Okay, did you already figure that out? If not, better hit pause now because here I'm about to explain it. Chad has money budgeted for taking his family out for dinner. Here's what we need to realize. Chad does not want to go over his budget. So, since the total budget is $90, and we don't normally want to go over our budget, then it makes sense for this one to be less than or equal to the $90. And yes, you should have the total amount of $90 to the right of the inequality symbol, not to the left. I'm not saying that we never have totals to the left. There could be some situations where we would. In fact, a previous packet of guided notes, that did happen a couple times. But most of the time, the total amount makes sense to put to the right of the inequality symbol. Now, I need you to still figure out what do you do with the 14? What do you do with the fact that there's 4 other people in Chad's family? Where should the variable be? And then solve your inequality. So if you have not done those things yet, then hit pause now, finish setting this up, and solve it to get the answer for the variable. Do that now. Okay, did you already finish setting this up and solving it? If not, you better hit pause because here I go. We know that there's 4 other people in Chad's family. We know that his meal cost $14. So 4 other people in his family. The unknown has to represent what will their average meal cost need to be. So I don't really care which letter you pick here. You could pick A for average meal cost. You could pick M. You could pick C, which is what I did because I thought the overall thought here is the cost for the other four families' average meals. So I chose C. You can pick whichever letter you want there. A, M, or C would be fine. We know that Chad's meal cost $14, and we know in real life, to get the total amount that's going to be spent, you would add those things together. That's what you would do in real life to get the total. You would take the meals of the family, add it by the price of Chad's meal. That's going to give you the total cost of all those meals together. If you have the setup wrong, hit pause now and fix what you got to fix. To solve this, we go in backwards order. So since the variable is being multiplied by 4 first and then added by 14 last, we reverse that. We start with the adding by 14. Inverse of that is subtracting by 14. Do it on both sides. 90 take away 14 is 76. 14 minus 14 is 0. We bring down the 4c. From here, the inverse of multiplying by 4 is dividing by 4. Do that on both sides. Use a calculator if you have to. This will not make the inequality symbol switch direction. If we were multiplying or dividing by a negative, then the inequality symbol would switch direction, but that's not what we're doing here. We're dividing by a positive, so keep it less than or equal to. 76 divided by 4 is going to give you 19, and we are talking dollars here. So there you go. The average meal cost has got to be less than or equal to $19 to fit in Chad's budget. All right, that concludes the guided notes on what you're supposed to do when the problem doesn't tell you what inequality symbol to use. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.